I'll be off in 3 weeks. I wind up being on it for like maybe 3.5, 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? But that faith's something else. God said that you were supposed to die. Man. Oh, this podcast gonna be lit, boy. It's Madtic. Welcome to the podcast. I appreciate you for coming. Make sure you like, you subscribe, and if you get anything from the message, make sure you share it. What we're gonna be talking about today is, how do I know Jesus is real? Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it. If you have any doubts, you know what I'm saying, or something wrong with your belief system, let's get into it. This is how I know, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go all the way in. I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't gonna put on for you. I'm gonna give you straight facts, you know what I'm saying? No, real life. How do I know? Well, this is how I know. A lot of people struggle with the fact of believing in a God that they can't see, you know? I mean, I'm gonna just put it like this. The main way I know Jesus is real because the feeling in my heart, like, you know what I'm saying? I can't deny, you know what I'm saying, what I feel internally, you know? But I know a lot of other people probably don't have that feeling or never got that feeling. So the second way I know that Jesus is real is because the miracles, you know, the miracles that I seen in my own life. First off, I was born breech. I boast about it, you know. I used to tell people I knew I was the shit, you know, because I was born ass first. So I used to really like boast on it and brag on it. And I felt good about it because I know I beat the odds. But what I didn't know until I really like researched it and looked into it, that a lot of people that's born breech be C-sections. But what make my situation different is because when I was born, I turned. You know what I'm saying? So they had to deliver me however they could. And that's how they, you know, that's how they was able to deliver me right then and there. I had to stop breathing. So either I was going to die or get pulled out. And they pulled me out the way I was, you know. So it was like an attack on my life since I was born, since I was a baby. You know, I'm learning now why, but we'll get into that later. But miracles, that's how I know God is real. That's how I know Jesus is real. I got in a car accident. I flipped my truck. 2 weeks before I actually got in the car accident, I had a dream. I had a dream that I flipped my truck. Back then, I ain't know about dreams and, you know, how you supposed to approach dreams. I ain't know. So to be honest with you, I was supposed to condemn that dream. I was supposed to rebuke that dream, but I ain't know no better, so I ain't think much of it. So one day I'm leaving the studio. I'm late night, I had a session. It's like maybe 5, 6 in the morning and I'm heading home. I'm tired. I fall asleep at the wheel. And when I fall asleep at the wheel, I hit a median. That's how I woke up. Because when I hit the median, I jumped up and, you know, turned the wheel back the other way. But when I swerved it back the other way, the truck lost control and it went into like the guardrail. I turned back the other way, so I guess so I wouldn't go over the bridge or either just smash into the bridge, and that's when the truck flipped and lost control. The crazy thing about it is when the truck flipped and lost control, the driver's side of the truck was smushed. I mean, if you're looking at me right now, let's say the headrest is like, you know, right here to, you know, head level. The headrest probably actually maybe a little under head level. You know, it's a headrest in the truck. I was in the F-250. And I mean, the truck was just smushed, man. The whole roof had came all the way down. I mean, it came down so far to the fact of if I try to get in the truck from the driver's side, I can't even scoop low enough to stand up straight in there. Crazy thing is, when the truck had flipped, the dream came back to mind, you know, and I'm not knowing whether this the dream or this is real life because it was so similar. All I remember doing is crying out to the Lord, telling him I'm sorry, you know, please forgive me, don't let me die, Lord, help me. You know, I just remember crying out because at this time, I knew what was going on, but it was so much peace till I wasn't scared. I knew like I was covered for some reason, you know. I knew I was straight. So when I flipped the truck and this is how I recall it to this day, when I came to it and opened my eyes in the truck and was like, you know, upside down, I didn't feel upside down. I felt right side up. honestly, I felt right side up, but you know, the truck was upside down, so apparently I was upside down, but what I seen, I was right side up, and there was so much room in the cab, and I'm getting chills just thinking about it. It was so much room in the cab to where when I took off my seatbelt, like I fell down in my seat as if the truck was like 6 feet high, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even feel my hand injury. You know, my hand had, I guess, went out the window. I didn't even feel that. When I did come to myself and get out the truck or whatever, I took off my seatbelt. Like I said, I fell into my seat. That's how much room that's how much room I had in the truck. No cap. That's how much room I had in the driver's seat that was smushed. You know, physically, the roof was supposed to be done crushed my head physically. Spiritually, man, honestly, man, I had room. I fell down in the seat from all the room that I had, you know. And when I crawled out of the truck, you know, ain't nobody take me out of the truck. Ain't nobody have to cut me out with the jaws of life. Nobody had to come get me or nothing. I remember crawling out of the truck. And as I'm crawling, you know, that's when I noticed my hand. I looked down at my hand and I'm like, dang, man, my hand is messed up. But everything else is straight. Everything else is straight. I get out the truck, you know, I crawl out the truck. I see a guy, you know, standing on the side of the road, and I'm just like, hey, bro, man, give me a ride to the hospital, bro. You see I'm bleeding, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so in shock. I don't feel the pain. I just see the blood gushing. There's blood all over my pants, blood all over my shoes. There's blood everywhere. At this point, just scared I'm gonna die of loss of blood, because that's how much blood was everywhere. I asked the dude to run me to the hospital, you know what I'm saying? So the dude was like, you know, I'm gonna call paramedics. But me, you know what I'm saying, I ain't gonna lie. I'm at this point, I'm like, man, I ain't trying to wait on no ambulance. I can die waiting on them, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm still kind of shooken up, like, man, I might die here. So I'm like, man, I ain't waiting on no ambulance. Just take me, please, bro, please don't let me die. I got family. Don't let me die here, bro. You know what I'm saying? So the dude was like, all right, I'm gonna take you to the hospital. You feel me? Dude actually was like, you know, popped his trunk first. So I'm like, man, what he doing? Like, what's going on? Like, he looking around in his truck. I'm trying to figure out what he doing. And he was like, hey, wrap your hand, take off your shirt, wrap your hand up, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna lie, I mean, it was the right thing to do, but at the time, you know what I'm saying, I'm feeling like, dang, dude don't even want me to drop blood in this car, you feel me? Like, dude don't even want me to get in this car with the blood. But in reality, it was like, I could have bled to death, but in my mind, I'm like, bro don't want me to get in this truck with blood, man, I'm about to die, and he worrying about his car. But, I mean, that could have been the case, but, you know, when I think back on it, I'm like, well, if I wouldn't have wrapped up my hand, I would have still been bleeding out. But I took off my shirt I had on, took it off, wrapped it over my hand, you know what I'm saying? So when I wrapped it over my hand, I jumped in the truck with him. He rushed me to the hospital. I get to the hospital. They, you know, I'm sitting down. They like, yeah, what's going on? Fill out this paperwork. I'm like, look, man, I can't fill out no paperwork, man. My hand is almost off, you know what I'm saying? My hand was degloved, you know what I'm saying? So that's basically all the skin on the outside of my hand was gone. They give me some pain medicine, you know what I'm saying? They got me sitting down talking to me, so they just talking and they acting like it ain't nothing serious. So I'm like, they like, let me see it. I'm like, okay, you feel me? Because I know once they see it, they gonna know what time it is. So I take off the bandage real quick, you feel me? I take it off. I'm like, they like, oh, yeah. Oh, now they acting a little different. They rushing. They like, yeah, come on, hurry up. Oh, yeah, man, make sure you give me x-rays. They send me back, you know what I'm saying, wrap me up tighter. You know what I'm saying? The blood had done stopped bleeding out. It still looked crazy, man. All my skin was gone. They shipped me to Miami. I stay in Palm Beach. I'm from West Palm. They needed a specialist, so they take me to a hospital way to Miami. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get me right. I get to Miami, I get the surgery. You know what I'm saying? Everything good. I wake up, you know what I'm saying? Everything all right. You feel me? My hand, you know, my hand messed up, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing else wrong with me, you feel me? So by this time, I'm still not really realizing how the truck look, you feel me? I'm still not really like, I'm not focused on the truck. You know what I'm saying? I'm not focused on the truck. I'm just happy to be alive, but at the same time, where I was at with it, I wasn't even really like how most people probably would be, or even how I should have been. I should have been like, thank you, Jesus. I was really like, a little, I guess, arrogant still, like a little, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm straight. I'm good. I'm good. When I get out of the hospital, that's when things get real, because the doctors don't even know at the time is I might ever be able to use my hand at this moment. They don't know. They just know it looked really bad. So they don't know, basically what's finna happen. They don't know what's finna go on. They don't know what's finna happen with my hand. They just know that it's messed up. I can't move it. It's swole. They had to cut my wedding band off. My hand was that swole, you feel? Everything in my hand was like numb. I couldn't feel it. So they telling me that, you might not even be able to use this hand again. This hand might not, basically it might not recover. For some reason, I ain't even kind of listening to that. I already feel like I'm real, blessed. I believe in the grace, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of felt like, it's all right, I'm going to be straight regardless. I'm going to be all right. I wasn't really tripping about that anyways, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, forget my hand, I'm good, I'm here. But when I got out of the hospital, it really hit me, because I go to the junkyard where my truck at, and I look at my truck. And I look at all the things that could have killed me that night. And I thought about all the things that was an element for death. I had 4 propane tanks filled in the back of the truck. It's a pickup truck. I had propane tanks filled. I had a tripod pole in the back seat of the truck. When I went to look at this truck, the pole from the tripod was right here. It was literally right here from the headrest. The headrest right here where my head at, and the pole was right there. If my head was a little bit over, that pole would have pierced the back of my head. I looked at the roof of the truck. Put it like this. The roof was all the way smushed down to the steering wheel. So just imagine, I'm looking at this screen right now, and I'm just imagining a roof being maybe a few inches above my head, but the roof is all the way down to, I say, about here. My dreads was like cut like this up here. I had to get them re-put on, but my dreads was like this. That's how close it was to being my head. To be honest with you, my dreads, when I got to the junkyard, I seen some of my dreads caught in the frame of the truck. What didn't make sense to me is why I don't have any head injuries. I'm gonna tell you how I know it was a miracle. What's crazy is this hand right here that you see it, I had a tattoo on it that said "Get Money." Right here, "Get Money." What's ironic is I was at home in my bed, probably almost about to go to sleep, until I got a text telling me, come to the studio because somebody wanted a session. So I was actually chasing out the money. I can't fathom how I got out if I couldn't even get in it. So it was definitely a miracle, and that's how I knew that God was real. The story don't even stop there. I had faith. They told me I was going to be on the machines like 6 to 8 weeks. And the machine was a wound vac before I get a skin graft. I told my homeboy I'd be off in 3 weeks. I wind up being on it for like maybe 3.5, 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? But that faith's something else. I'm still, chilling. I'm still doing my thing. I'm still, I'm grateful, but I ain't really going hard for God, or I ain't really telling everybody like, yeah, God, boy, God. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying I was blessed, and I understand what time it is, but I wasn't really, doing nothing extravagant like this. I wasn't, giving my testimony or nothing. I just was like, yeah, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? I went to church. You know what I'm saying? The first time I went to this church, I went to a new church. The left side, which is my hand on the left right here, it's on this side. And I'm sitting in the bench, and this side is like exposed, but nobody can really see this side. And my hand, down to my sides, I'm standing up. And a pastor named Pastor Dennis. I didn't know his name at that time, you know what I'm saying? I know his name now, but at this time, I didn't even know who dude was. Never heard of him, never seen him. First time at this church ever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know these people don't know me. This man come to me and go to, praying for me and prophesying. And the first thing he said out of his mouth is, God said, you weren't supposed to be here. God said that you were supposed to die. man, that changed my life, because at that point I knew it was a difference from, you know, people telling you blessed, and then, you know what I'm saying, or this, you know, they know what happened. You feel me? When I tell people my story, or people that, you know, family members, or people that may see me with my cast on or something and be like, you know what happened? I show them the pictures. They be like, oh, you blessed. You know, that's one thing. But for somebody I never seen before, somebody I don't know, to just come and prophesy something that they don't even know what they say. Like, he don't even know what had happened to me. He just was saying what thus said the Lord. And that really hit me, because I knew it was real. I knew without a reasonable doubt that God was real. And I was already feeling like, you know, he saved me. I was already feeling, you know, blessed. But once that dude told me, God said that I ain't supposed to be here, and this dude don't know me, this is the first time I'm seeing him, and he prophesizing this to me, oh man, that changed everything, you know. That let me know for real, that God was really, really, really with me, you know what I'm saying? This dude don't got no reason to lie to me, never seen me, never heard of me, you know what I'm saying? Don't know my story. Matter of fact, this church ain't even in my city. This church in a whole nother city. You know what I'm saying? I went to this church, you know, for the first time visiting from a whole nother city. None of these people in the church, I ain't know not one person in this church, not one. But God, I tell you one thing, boy, Jesus ain't never let me down, not one time. And if he did it for me, I know he can do it for you. I ain't talking about religion. I'm talking about relationship. It's a whole different thing, man. Make sure you just, you know, you seek him. You know, you seek God, not the preacher, not the bishop, not, you know, not man, but the one and only Holy Spirit. Let's motivate each other. Let's help each other get to the next level. Let's stop promoting things that oppress us and keep us down. Let's stop liking and sharing stuff that keep us in bondage. Let's start liking and sharing things that lift us up. You know? Yeah, I'm a fisherman of men. You know what I'm talking about? Big bait. You know what I'm saying? I got that big bait. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? We finna do a whole lot of fishing. You know what I'm saying? We gone fishing.
We do have a traffic situation going on right now as we take a live look. This is
on the southbound lanes of I-95. But again, this was a very serious crash. We know that one person was taken to the hospital. We hope he is doing okay. But FHP continuing their investigation at this time, and the road crews right here trying to clear this all up.
Lately I've been soul searching, really trying to find my purpose. Like, when I die, will it be really worth it? All the nights I had to hustle and put work in. I just want a mansion, I just want a Benz. I just want to look out for my closest kin. It's so materialistic in the end. When you go to hell or heaven, you can't take it in. You can't take it in.